All right, it's going to be Shih-Chia of Chinese Taipei versus Lisa Unruh in our featured match. So that's coming up here in front of us next. And then it's going to be Ida Rahman versus Qi Yuhong of China, Alejandra Valencia of Mexico versus Kaori Kawanaka of Japan, Laxmirani Amaji of India versus Christina Sabua of Georgia, Kang Chae-young of Korea versus Veronika Marchenko of Ukraine, Katuna Lorig of the United States versus Choi Mi-sun of Korea, Ika Yuliana Rochmawati of Indonesia versus Katuna Narimanitsi of Georgia, and Carla Hinojosa of Mexico versus Ki Bo-bae of Korea, the current reigning Olympic champion, Miss Ki Bo-bae.
Yes, and Ki Bo-bae definitely would like to add the World Championship title to her fantastic number of titles. She was shooting for gold some weeks ago at in her hometown, basically in Gwangju at Universiade, and she pulled it off in the individual competition, in the mixed team competition. Unfortunately, in the team competition, Korea did not make it. She couldn't make a full set of medals.
She set a new world record on the way, didn't she?
She said she broke a world record that was held by Park Sun-young, another Korean legend, and 686 points. The scores here were far from that, because the conditions here were not that good as they were in Gwangju, but there was a little bit too much wind to go for world records here. And yeah, she's in amazing form, so we'll see what happens here.
Field crew is doing a great job at this tournament, and they have reset the field for the next pass.
Yeah, very much congratulations, and a big thank you from all the archers on the field to the more than 200 volunteers that keep the competition running. So you have to understand, this is we have more than 1,000 people that have flown or driven in from outside the world and from outside Denmark, and it's amazing how the volunteers are taking care of everyone, and really hats off to all of the Danish volunteers. And there's also not only Danish volunteers, we have people from several countries that came to volunteer here, so really congratulations to all of you, and without you we can't do it.
Not to mention the judges and the World Archery event team, which is now led by Mr. Chris Marsh, who was the great manager of the London Olympic archery venue back in 2012. Okay, targets 1 and 2. We've got Lisa Unruh, and now her opponent is going to be the tough and the capable Shih-Chia of Chinese Taipei, who's actually, Tom, not the #1 Chinese Taipei shooter, but she's here, and she's absolutely looking to do as much as she can after the, quite frankly, shocking defeat of the Chinese Taipei women.
Yeah, exactly, and our teammate Tanya Ting has been often also on top of the ranking.
Exactly.
Chinese Taipei is really a stronghold in archery.
Yuan Shih-Chia has been a top shooter for 12 years now. There's a 10 to start the match for Miss Lin, and a 10 X-ring for Lisa. And a 10 for Miss Lin.
So
Lisa with a 9 just out of the 10 ring. Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
So sorry, George. I just got the information. So have now qualified as individual for the Olympics is Chinese Taipei. So a little bit less pressure for.
So that's one slot. Is that what that means?
That's one slot,
yeah.
Exactly. The same for Germany. So both of them are shooting now only for the World Championship, which is also very important, of course. United States also got a place, Ukraine as well, and Indonesia. So that's 5 that are sure, which means there is 3 places still open, and those will go between 6 countries. And those 6 countries are Austria, Belarus, Australia, Poland, Italy, and Azerbaijan.
So just to clarify, are those the countries that will be shooting on Friday?
Those will be the countries shooting on Friday.
Austria, Belarus, Australia, women, right?
Yes.
Poland, Italy, Azerbaijan.
Yes.
Now there's also tripartite places that are given by the IOC.
Yes, I forgot to mention them, but what people have to understand is that those places are really reserved for the small delegations. What happens is that IOC, the International Olympic Committee, together with the Association of National Olympic Committees, establishes a list of the countries that have had less than 10 people participating in all sports together at the Beijing and London Olympics.
So places like maybe Vanuatu.
That could be a place, El Salvador, Bhutan,
right.
San Marino, Luxembourg. These are the type of countries we are looking at. And then those NOCs can ask to every sport, individual sport, of course, because if you have a team sport, you would definitely not satisfy that criteria.
Right.
And see if they can get the place. What happens then is those applications come to World Archery. World Archery look at it from a technical point of view, meaning are those people able to shoot the minimum qualification score, or can they be prepared to get the minimum qualification score on time to be competitive at the Olympic Games? And then we give our recommendation back to the IOC, who makes the final decision.
Just for reference, the MQS currently is based on either a 70-meter round or...
No, it's only 70-meter rounds now.
Round.
This is the first Olympics. It's
so
only
no longer the 4-distance round.
No, so you have to shoot the 70-meter round, and you have to shoot 600 points for the women and 630 for the men.
So a pair of 315s for the men, for example, would do it, and a pair of 300s would do it for the women.
So basically, you would have to stay within the reds on a competition. That's more or less what we're asking for. We want to avoid that we have people competing at the Olympics that are not up to the level that they can do a correct match in the first round.
How does that get adjusted over time, Tom? Because I remember 1200 was the benchmark for men for a long time. Back in the old
it increases. We have added in the men 5 points. The women, we kept it the same. It's basically on what we saw in London. We took the London results and evaluated those, and then it was clear for the men that with 630 at the Olympic Games, well, you're really at the bottom of the ranking.
Yeah, sure. Which isn't to say they shouldn't try, because with the set system...
No, I remember a fantastic match between a Fijian archer and Im Dong-Young, which was the number
great.
one qualifier.
The crowd loved it.
The crowd loved it, and if our Fijian archer would have not been too stressed on his last arrow, he would have beaten Im Dong-Young, which was a real thriller.
That was a real genuine handshake that Im Dong-Hyun gave that shooter afterward.
Oh yes, he was relieved, I can tell you.
That's putting it mildly, I'm sure. He also set an Olympic record, Im Dong-Hyun, at that same event.
Yes, which is 699, which is still the world record. We have been expecting the 700 barrier to be broken since then, and we've been very close. We've had some very good 690 scores.
Mother Nature's had other things to say about it, though, huh?
Yes, here, even if they would have been probably mentally and technically ready to do it, the wind didn't help.
You know, Oh Jin-hyuk was very gracious in his loss yesterday, and he didn't make excuses. He pointed out that, you know, he couldn't handle the wind, and he needs to go back and redouble his efforts to get used to the wind. He didn't whine about the circumstances, or he didn't say a word about the fact that you know, the score, if it had been a straight pass, would have been a different outcome. The set system's been great for our sport, in my opinion, as somebody who's participated in the past in helping present these events to public audiences. Nothing captures people's attention like the possibility of a come-from-behind victory, and that's what this gives us.
Absolutely, and we've seen great matches. The first round of the team round was fantastic with 4 shoot-offs, real thrillers, and I can imagine, especially for the coaches and the team officials watching in the back, it's the worst situation because they can't do anything about it. The archers at least have a chance to do something about it themselves.
Yeah, but you know, the archers, by and large, they enjoy it. I think it's been something that's been good for the sport. I really do.
Yeah, and also it changes mentally the approach, because when you see that you can win with a narrow match, you will take an extra risk, and you might hold it a little bit longer to get that 10 off. And okay, that might result in then a bad shot in the end if you push it too far. But that's how it is. But mentally, you have to go every time from scratch, from zero, every set.
Taking it back to the field right now, Lisa's in a bit of trouble, Tom. She actually wasn't able to do a thing after the second arrow because for the fact that Shih-Chia had a 10-9-9 down there. Lisa had shot a 9 and an 8 and was done for this set. So Miss Lin's ahead now, 4-0.
Yeah, but even then, I would say it permits the archer that can't win the set anymore to try and make a test on that last shot, see if the wind has changed, aim off to another place on the target and see what it does. So at least she has some data, some information for the next set to be ready for the next set and see if that will make the difference in the next set.
Yeah, the shot absolutely has value, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm already aware of one case in international competition where an archer didn't shoot that shot because he said, okay, I've lost it anyway.
I don't remember that, but I'm sure that you're right. I vaguely recall something like that happening, but I don't think that's nice to the crowd either. I think they want to see the shot.
No, they want to see that shot, but okay, it's sometimes people take victory or loss in different ways.
Hello to Belgium. Thank you for joining us. Tom's from Belgium, by the way, originally.
Yes, it will be next year, 20 years that I'm no longer living in Belgium, but I still enjoy going to it from time to time.
We've got Sweden checking in. We've got Worcestershire, England checking in.
Well, someone from the USA in Utah, so he's up early.
David Solomon from Utah. Let's see. Or he's up late. I'm not sure how you'd look at it. It's I'm not sure what time it is back there. That's where I live, by the way. 1:43 in the morning. I know we had a roll call earlier. A lot of stuff is scrolled by in between.
No, and it's clear now, okay, Lisa under pressure to keep it going. 4-0 down. She really needs to at least tie the next set to stay in the game.
Yep, she's got to do it. She's got to buckle down. Now, I've seen her do this before in indoor competition, but this is a tough circumstance for her right now because Miss Lin is a tough shooter.
Definitely, and Lisa is a very strong archer in all of our disciplines, indoor, outdoor, and field also. She's been very competitive at field archery as well.
Yep.
What is interesting as well, I don't know if you noticed, but on Lisa's bow, she configured her stabilizer a little bit different than other archers competing here. She put her what is called the V-bar, the back stabilizers lower down, a little bit like many of the compounds are doing, and it seems to be working well for her. So it's a little bit different than others, and this also shows that archers try to find solutions on how to feel the shot for them. It's important that they have a good feeling for them because that's what matters when you shoot an arrow.
Brady was playing with a configuration like that a couple of years ago, and I remember Sebastian Rohrberg playing around with different configurations. He's kind of settled on the Swedish swing bars.
Yeah.
All right, here comes Lisa. This will be very telling, and it is an 8.
Yeah,
that's
unfortunate.
A bad start. This could be it, Tom, right here.
Well, you never know until the last arrow we show. You see?
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Good call, because that's a 7-8 liner. It is an 8, I think, but you never know till it's over. We have a couple of questions rolling across the screen there that may or may not be a good topic for conversation. It's 8 for Lisa, another 8.
Well, there's a question on how many individuals will qualify for the Olympics. Well, basically, there is for every there is 8 individuals. There was 8 teams, and then there's the 3 host country places. So the total of that is 24 for teams, 8 for individuals, 32, and then the host is 35 people qualify per gender here in Copenhagen.
Lisa
in total, there will be. Sorry.
Sorry.
In total, there will be 64 men and 64 women.
Well, that's it, Tom. That shot the fox. Lin is the winner of this shoot-off, or rather this set match. 6-0 straight set victory for Lin Shih-Chia of Chinese Taipei over Lisa Unruh of Germany as we get ready to head to the semifinals coming up soon. And we'll have the rest of the matches coming up. We've got some close ones here, Tom.
We have some people from the Netherlands watching as well. The Netherlands, who of course shot really well with the men. They qualified their team. They're a very young team. Because it's amazing that Rick van der Ven, who was the upcoming star in London and then very young at that Olympic Games, is now the oldest in the team.
And Chef is the middle guy. What's up with that?
And Chef van den Berg being the middle aged archer in that team. It's amazing because
well, it says something nice about the depth that's available to the Netherlands team.
They have a fantastic youth development program, and I think this is really the model to follow for all other European countries.
France comes to mind, maybe. Sorry, you didn't say it. I did.
I didn't say anything, but
I don't have to worry about my popularity.
But it's clearly showing that you can be competitive with the Asian and American countries as a traditional European country, and it's, I think, hats off to the Dutch and how they're doing it. It is working.
Tom, Choi Moo-sun of Korea was running over Katuna Lorig as of the last set, and this could be it for that match. Could be that Katuna will be done now. Does that affect anything for?
No. The Olympic place is done. That is secured.
So she can sort of relax about that.
Yeah.